What's going on, people? Welcome back to another episode of the Too Hot to Handle podcast. You got myself, Junaid.
You got myself, Faris, and today we got a very special guest.
Who's that, Faris?
Mr. ZAFF.
Special
PT.
needs.
Special needs. That's true.
We've got ZAFF the PT in the building. Round of applause for ZAFF, man. Good to have you here.
To give myself a little round of applause. I've not been on a podcast for about 2-3 years, but
So he's done two before.
I've done two
Yeah,
before.
your last one was probably about 2 years ago. You did one quite a few years ago.
To be totally honest, I did two very famous ones in the last 2 years, and
Did
I've
you?
done one for like Asia TV or something. But
More like interviews.
no, they were podcasts, but because I suffer from bipolar disorder,
Yeah.
the two famous ones didn't go up. I went to shoot one twice, to be fair. So, but they never went up, and I didn't want them up because I don't think I was saying the right stuff. I probably would have got cancelled. And this Brit Asia one, they just lied to me. Went down, did it, seen it on YouTube, and it was just a bit of a setup. So it's set up in the way that we're gonna a bit off topic, but I weren't happy with that one, so I got that one taken down. So we got two on YouTube, but the fans, the supporters, the followers, they've been doing my head in to get back onto a platform, and I've been asking them what platform I should go on, and they're recommending me pages, and I'm going on the pages, and it don't really fit with my ethics. So Faris over there, I know, away from the podcast, and he's been asking me to get on. And I'm just glad to be here. Get some words of wisdom out to the younger people. If anybody is struggling or can relate to any of the points, maybe I could just inspire them. Like I have on the last two. To be fair, I got a lot of good feedback.
Thank you very much for coming on, ZAFF. We appreciate it.
Am I going to get paid after? Or?
We'll talk about that later after camera, don't it?
I'm messing.
So ZAFF, tell us a little bit about yourself.
ZAFF PT, so I'm a personal trainer, but I'm a bit more than a personal trainer, but let's just stick to that title. Been doing it for like 8 to 10 years.
Okay.
So normally people tell me a bit about yourself. The first thing I say is I'm 6'3" and whatever else. But
That's what you want to do.
It feels like a police interview. It doesn't feel like it, but that's the way I've been asked the question before.
He's lying. He's not 6'3".
This is comfortable. He's tall, man. But yeah, this is a comfortable setting. It's like a
a bit
conversation.
about myself.
It's not like an interview.
I'm British Pakistani, as in I was born here. My parents are from Pakistan.
Where you from?
Here, Birmingham, Spark Hill. But I don't live there no more.
Made it out.
Never really made it out. I would never want to move, but it's more my kids and where I was from growing up is rough, so I don't really want my daughters to be around that. Okay. So I've moved us just a slight bit out. I still see all my friends and siblings and mum and whatnot, so just slight bit out, but don't know how to answer that question, to be fair.
I don't think anybody knows how to answer that question, to be fair, because it's a very open, broad question, really, to be fair. So tell me, what was it like growing up inside, Spark Hill, Sparkbrook?
Spark Hill was lit.
Yeah.
Spark Hill was super lit. I loved growing up. With primary school was at the bottom of my road. I was the hardest in my primary school. Secondary school was horrible because all my friends went to another secondary school, and I actually had a fight on induction day. From year 6 when you visit your secondary school. I had a fight with the hardest from another school. So then they never let me back in to like halfway through year 7, and it just said I've never had the best run in secondary school.
Who won the fight?
To be fair, we was fisting each other. He's a good mate of mine now. We was fisting each other up. He's a tough kid. And the head of year come and stopped it, and that's when I got kicked out. I never even started and I got kicked out. College, alhamdulillah, I've done quite well in my GCSE, so I got to a good solid 6th form. I don't know about it now, but then it was quite good. First year college, and then kind of flopped. I never even went to my exams. I was a youth. I applied for, I started studying youth work. I was a qualified youth worker for Birmingham City Council in Lowzells Youth Inclusion Project. And I think that's where most of my humanitarian work or helping people comes from, because when I failed my A-levels, I was gutted. What am I going to do with my life? So I had a long sit down with my sister, and she was like, what do you like doing? And I was like, probably because we had youth workers when we was naughty kids. I was like, that was probably they're the people I love, the youth workers that brought us up. So they probably just do what they do. And then, I've become a youth worker for the city council. About 9 months, a year into the job. My mum was gassed, everybody was gassed. I had a little Birmingham City Council badge. I'm only 19 years old. And then there was a little fight outside the youth centre.
Yeah.
Off peak hours though. So one black kid was trying to stab one Asian kid.
Yeah.
And I'm witnessing this. They're running around the bus stop. So obviously I got out of the car, went over, stopped that, took them both inside, filled a quick report, didn't call police or anything, and took the knife and kept it moving. But come in the next day or the day after, and I had broken some protocols and 2 other things. So I got sacked from that job. And then me and my brother had a smart idea of, to be honest with you, I was involved in a lot of crime at that time anyway, that I didn't need to be in. It was just my friends and peers and
the environment.
Yeah, we used to go partying on the weekend. You need money to support them lifestyles, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I don't want to like even gaslight any of that. So I got sacked essentially, and then like a week after that, me and my brother banged off this dead move, and I got 4.5 years for that.
Okay.
But that was beautiful for me because it really, that time in jail, I loved that time in jail. It made me I thrived. I've never bragged about it, but I had 2 fights. Both the guys ended up in hospital. So I see comments on TikTok all the time. I was never, ever bullied in jail. Never terrorized. I had it comfortable. I never had no mates or gang there. I just, off my own back, I'm a tough guy. So inside, it's mentally who you are. So I love prison. And I tell you something nice about it. Like my leg, there was no volume above 10 at night time. An Afghan brother across the road used to do azan for all 5 prayers. So when I say we had it locked, we never had a PlayStation, but that weren't our bragging rights. Our bragging rights were, we was on the deen hard. We had a good team of us, and it makes you independent. I never changed my bed sheets. I've never washed my own clothes. I've never ironed my own clothes. You know, all the stuff that your Marjay does. Gosh.
You have to do it yourself, innit?
It makes you madly grow up. So when I come out, it was just like, it's not, I had a bit of a sentence, so coming out, it was not like I'm going to fall back into the lifestyle, and I had a long time to obviously contemplate and get my head together and stuff. So coming out, it was just more redemption. I think even till today, like, you know, once you're tarnished with that brush, my siblings or my cousins or my neighbours still see me as a bad guy. You know what I mean? So not all 7 of my siblings, but I don't know what their feelings are, but maybe it is. So since leaving, probably till today, it's just making up and doing good work, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about in jail, because obviously I've never been in jail. You have. Okay. Well, what's it like? Like, what are the communities like there? Does everyone like, you know, are there...
It's different. So you got YOIs that are from like 16 to 21.
Yeah.
And then you got 18 to 21. Juvies is under 18, so it's 18 to 21 is YOs.
Yeah.
That's where I was the first time I went in. And then adults is 21 above. YOIs is like school, like every single day you come out, all these kids, everybody's ready to bang. The testosterone's high, flying around. There's literally a fight every single day. Adults is more calm. It's a lot more open. They're not on top of you as such. They don't give a shit about you. With YOIs, there's a lot of care with the screws and the courses and so much you can do to progress in life. I done an open university course when I was in the YOIs. But adult jail literally opened my eyes to how horrible the world is. Like loads of nonsense, loads of crackheads. They just leave you be, like do whatever you gotta do. So hence there's so many murders in adult jails over the YOIs. But it's a vague question. Ask something specific.
So you're in jail. Okay. What like is there like a lot of corruption in jail? Would you say, like obviously with the guards and obviously
now there's a lot more than there used to be because back with life, just in general, when you ask me about growing up in Spark Hill, there was ethics, morals, certain levels people don't cross. Back in my day growing up, and that's what prison was like. The officers kind of stood for something. But now the world's just crazy. So I was speaking to a mate a few weeks ago who's getting phones in and whatnot, and like the people who are signing up to become security officers, they're just average Joes. They're just hiring anybody.
For example, what happened in Wandsworth? When that prison officer, the female one.
Is that what you wanted to ask?
No, I'm just saying, like, a lot
it's right. Look, that is it. Like,
there you go.
The screws or the officers used to have that mentality of like, boom, and take the job seriously. But now it's literally anybody that's gone out the window. So imagine you're getting paid $2,000 a month after taxes.
Yeah.
And then you got a prisoner telling you, bring me this in and I'll give you $1,000. Bring me that in, I'll give you $2,000. It just makes more sense. They don't make more sense, but like as you had corruption, it's there massively now, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like, for example, with us, when we go out to patients, like in HMOs, for example, and we ask them, like, obviously, because when we ask for their address and that, they've got like from the prisons and that, and they say that, oh, we prefer prison than being out.
Yeah, literally.
To be fair with you, if I never had a mum and dad and a house coming out to come out to, and you know, all that structure, I'd probably want to stay inside, because your routine is you're waking up, you're praying, you're eating, you're training, you're studying, you know, whatever, and you're going to sleep. As then these guys are touching road and they put in hostels and they're around, like, people are all in so imagine I come out, but I was homeless, and I wanted to better my life, but I'm sitting in a hostel and everybody in the hostel's on drugs. You know what I mean? It's just like
difficult at that point.
Really, really difficult. Like,
you got nothing to come back to.
I feel sorry for them guys. And firstly, it used to be probably gory. And when I say go, I mean like British people, white, Caucasian people. But now, half the HMOs on my side are filled with Asian lads, Muslim lads, black lads. So it's like, it hurt then, but you could have just brush it off. But now it kind of hits home. Like Mandam, you know, just come out of prison, and he's just, my friend passed away like a few months ago, a good friend of mine, and these things are hard, man. You know, when it comes to your own people. Like, but back to your question. What was your question? Jail. That's not in a nutshell, but let's move on from the jail, because all the people on here are gonna be good. You know, good people.
Good people like me and...
them bad guys in jail ain't sitting there watching podcasts, you know what I mean? Like you, because you said paramedic, but I know you're the paramedic. I didn't even know he was a paramedic.
Yeah, he's a paramedic.
Fair play. Kudos to you, man. You've done your mums and dads proud. You got a halal job. And then the job, you see the way I do the personal training, because I've got a lot of du'as from the people I'm training. So if there's an obese guy I'm training and I'll get him into shape, you know, his kids, the time he's going to spend with his kids, I get rewarded for. You know, he's probably treating his missus better. I get rewarded for. So your job as a paramedic, there's that benefit to it as well.
No, it's true. And I think, obviously, with you talking about your personal training, we move on to that.
I wanted to know, how did you get into that?
I think it was the second time. I went back to jail for a little bit, but I was innocent this time. Swear to God. I had a stolen vehicle at the back of my recovery truck. Okay. And the police pulled us over, but one of the kids whose vehicle it was burnt off, so I was remanded for free because I was already unlicensed. I had a 2.5-year license.
Okay. Yeah.
So I got remanded, and that was horrible. That was horrible sentence. Not a sentence, because I was innocent and I got acquitted after 8-9 months. But it was a tough time. What was your question?
How did
I get into personal training? Okay. So from my first sentence to my second sentence, I didn't dabble in any crime. When I say crime, I don't fear the UK law. I mean about crime against God, what he's told us we can and can't do. So I tried staying the rules within the guidelines as hard as I could, and it was tough, man, really tough. Got little shitty jobs, but just kept trying, and then when I went to prison, I realised from the population, I'm like top 5, top 10, and the friends I made on the second sentence was just like, yo, you're a fit, strong guy, why don't you do it? But it still never hit home. And then when I come out, I come out and I went to the gym that I managed this gym for 2 years. For a year down the line, but rewind a year, when I come out, I went to the guy and I asked him, are you barber? Can I have a job in the gym, even if it's a cleaning job? And he was like, I'm not barber. Then I made a membership in another gym, Flex Fitness, and Wahid Aesthetic. We all know Wahid Aesthetic, big up Wahid. He was the personal trainer, and he had a space upstairs. Okay. And there were not many personal trainers downstairs, and some new guys bought the gym from Aston, and I used to train with him. We used to read. A lot of people don't know this about Maz, but he's grown offers. So we used to read Fajr together, read a bit of Quran, he'd read, and then we'd train together. The guy's just a monster. But he said to me, he goes, look, you should start the personal training. So I'd done the course, personal training course. And you know what? Credit to Wahid, he did give me a few tips when I first started. And that's essentially where the personal training started for about 2 to 3 months. They weren't the biggest hype. And then, but it was okay. Like, I was glad to make £100 a week, I swear to God. That would be more than enough for me. that there was some madness in that gym. That gym closed down, and I was jobless.
Yeah.
Okay.
But because like my name had slightly got out and I had a few connects, the guy that I'd done the personal training course with, very well known guy, he phoned Barber for me.
Okay.
And I could have, to be fair with you, at that time I could have got into any gym. I could have got into Stevie B's. Nav Definition offered me, you can call me. They were really nice at that time. Few gyms, because I had made the relationships with them when I was at Flex. And that's what I always tell people, you should have good credit everywhere you go.
That's it.
So yeah, I wanted to go to 24/7 because it was the closest gym to the last one, and it was a huge gym, and I just wanted to go there essentially, and that's where all my people train. So I went there, but this time Barber welcomed me back, welcomed me in. I used the matted area in the corner for the month of Ramadan. In Ramadan I just started then, and he had watched how I work, my ethics, and how I come in and everything. He was having a lot of trouble at the time with his staff and people not paying memberships and whatnot. So he said to me, I can make you the manager of the whole gym. You're not going to get paid anything from me, but you could do essentially what you want to do with it. So the first thing I did was, they had a prayer room, but it was proper battered. So we redone the prayer room, painted it, put some fresh carpets in, put some posters up against the wall saying, what did they say? Personal trainers must be qualified to train here, because everybody was just personal training, and it was just a bit of a shit show.
Yeah.
So I got it all tight, and then I managed that, a 10,000 square foot gym, and I'm telling you, them customers were hard work. They're paying 20 quid and they were hard work. And that really built my character, you know, personal training. Imagine I got a personal trainer, you, and there's another 100 guys in the gym staring at you and me, and working through that. Like, I used to walk into the gym, I've got a 5 o'clock there, just giving everybody salam, and how do you do this till I get to my client? It's 15 minutes into the session. So yeah, I think that really built up my character, you know, just trained me up properly for the job. And then alhamdulillah, I was making a lot of money, halal money, so everybody knows me for the yellow M3. Mine is a trendsetter. And I had a couple of nice cars that time. I never had no kids, I weren't married, so I lived at my mum's, supporting them and just living life nicely. You know what, I gotta give credit. The only shout out I'm giving anybody on this whole podcast is Panacea Motors. Because he goes to me, he goes, yo, you need a car, you need to get your image right. And I didn't know about none of that stuff. Do you know what I mean? Even the social media, he really pushed me towards it. So he flicked me the keys for the M3, and I realised, I need to step up, level up now. What am I going to do? So I saved up like 60 grand cash, halal. And I moved into this gym that everybody knows next to Aura Shisha Lounge. It was next door to that. Same owner as Aura was my landlord. And you learn from your mistakes, but I put £12,000 just into steel beams.
Okay.
5.5 grand on mirrors, five grand on both bathroom en suites. I'm just telling you the stuff. I'm not trying to brag, but that's the money I'm never getting back, whether they leave or not. So at the end, it cost me like a lot of money, just under, I'd say over 80, under 100. And alhamdulillah, I had a good time there, but I kind of got lost in the sauce. This is me being honest.
Okay.
Like, first I was in a bit of debt. I had 18 grand debt when I've just opened, and my right-hand man who had brought up and trained and showed the game to and whatnot kind of snaked me and left me the day we opened.
Okay.
So it was really hard with that debt on my head, and you know, gosh, it was hard. But after I think 6 months we were in the clear, and then I had quite a few employees. So if you look on the Instagram or the website and you see there was Isaac, he had a fight and he punched up that guy, what's his name? Everybody wants to fight, like on Misfits. That Gura, like, not Aggie for his mate, you know. Everybody was wanted a piece. Pro PT.
Yes.
So this guy is the only one that give Pro PT a little punch up.
Okay.
His name's Isaac. He was in the Big Brother house. Through a mutual mate, he came down and he was like, my mutual mate was like, he's PTing in David Lloyd. He's a semi-pro footballer. He's just having a fun time there, but I know you'll do wonders with him. And literally came in and it was all there. The package was there, but he just didn't know how to deliver. So he became one of the best PTs I've had. He's still doing it till this day. He's doing well for himself, alhamdulillah.
Mashallah.
I had him. I had quite a few staff, and I spent so much money on media and cameramen, and he was just all a waste of money. He was all a waste of money. I used to flex with Aleem them times.
Okay. Yeah. I think I seen on one of your snaps that on your Instagram videos that you trained up Aleem too, didn't you?
Yeah, basically we become friends through these camera guys. The camera guys we become friends through, and then we got a bit tight, and then there was a madness on Stratford Road by my house, Spark Hill Sides. And you don't mess with the Marlies. He had like 50 Marlies on him in Ramadan. I had to skid from my house, get in the M3, threw my little brother in because he's a bit of a tough kid. Flew to then. Alhamdulillah, I'm from that area, but I'm not expecting what's going to happen. Pulled up. Aleem was with 2-3 guys. I swear to God, I've pulled up in my M3. This kid I'm not going to name him, but he's jumped in my M3 and drove off. I've run to the barbers. I'm like, wait. And he's gone further down, and I've gone in to this shop. And he was, I don't want to badmouth. He's a good guy, but he was in a bit of trouble at that time. So because God got me covered, you get me? So I saved him through God's blessings. Somebody recognised me, and it all got diffused. And then his dad literally skidded up with some tough guys like 10 seconds later. But his dad shook my hand and he was like, who are you? Where are you from? And then I went to see him, and he showed me mad love. His dad, I got mad respect for his dad till today. His dad's a cool guy, man. People talk shit about him, but he doesn't show me nothing but love. And give me loads of advice, business advice, life advice, and whatnot. So they sent me Umrah with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, mashallah.
And that was lit. And then we done a mountain climb, and we done a few things. So the start of the relationship was really genuine and sick. But after that, you got to remember, he's a big influencer. The circle are rich boys. I'm a road man. I'm not a rich guy, and I don't like that anyway. So just like bits and bats, and then like there's always Lambos outside. When I'm saying lost in the sauce, I'm going anywhere on Ladypool Road, free food. A couple of his friends own restaurants, so wherever we go, we're just flexing hard.
You was living it, you was the man.
But it was past my flexing. I was the man when I had the M3, and I loved that flex. That was top tier for me. This was a level above, and I was a bit out my comfort zone, and it was a little a hint fake, not with my man, but with the, just in general, and the gang, and going to like fancy restaurants to eat. And I'm looking at the one credit to him, he'd always clear the bill. Fair play to him. But when I'm seeing the bill, I'm like, I can't justify spending so much on. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I'm like that. Faris gets the bill when we.
But I never said anything. I went with the flow of stuff, and then that gym, Corona kicked in.
Oh.
When Corona kicked in, everything went left because everybody's cracking on with their lives, and my kind of place was the chill spot. But I've got nothing. I got no clients. Police raided my place twice, so I wasn't gonna open up. And
because obviously them days everybody started working out from home, didn't they?
Thank you.
And everyone left the gyms.
There was social distancing.
Gyms weren't allowed to be open.
Gyms weren't allowed in it.
Some were open undercover, making their little $2 Loads of people sold their gym equipment for double, triple the price. Now, when I'm saying I'm a man of my morals, I could have made like a lot of money selling my equipment because I got a plug, and I could have bought it back for cheap as soon as it's done. But I read somewhere, and somebody sent me something, and I heard in a speech, all three of them, that back in the days when there was a calamity, for example, there's a fire in such and such a village, and now they need water, they need whatever. Without laws, you're not allowed to increase the price. So I literally sold my equipment to friends and family who needed it for what it cost me or below. And I just literally didn't know what to do, where to go. And my missus, Allah bless, I was pregnant with that second baby. The boiler had packed in the house, and just like, to be honest with you, that's where I was sectioned. I got sectioned. Got diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and leading up to the sectioning, I was very rude and horrible to a lot of my friends, family, etc. So when I came out after 3-4 months, I swear by God, no lies, we just read Maghrib. Aleem's dad said to me, he goes, yo, do you want me to get them all around the table? And these words are words, it's all squash, come round. And I go, you know what it is, uncle? You're a cool guy. I'm your type of guy. I'm like on your level. These are good kids, but they're younger than me, and I don't really want to go back down that road, you get me? So I see them all around, Islam, the war, but from there, when I got section, I moved out of Birmingham.
Yeah.
Like, I never knew what anxiety was and social anxiety and, you know, overweight people. I've always been underweight, so I never knew what it's like being overweight and what the feelings people have. But I went up north, I stayed there for a year, and I put loads of weight on. And I didn't work, of course. And the money ran out. So I had to come back to Birmingham.
Yeah.
So I came back to Birmingham. There's a gym, old school gym on Baker Street. I didn't want to go into the big gyms.
Yeah.
Because of that social anxiety. I've never had it. But coming back and just seeing how loud Spark Hill is and Stratford Road is, I was out of my comfort zone. This is what I've only known. But because they're very quiet up north. And I was just praying my salah. I was just going to the mosque, praying my salah, sitting at home with my kids the whole day.
Yeah.
So coming back to Spark Hill, it took me like 6 months to adjust back in and get a little bit of money together.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to lie, whoever trained with me at that time, that was my downtime. There were some loyal clients who knew I was struggling, who came and supported the cause. So big up all of them. Allah give you all Jannah. And then, like literally 6 months, as soon as I got enough buck together, because I've had my own place, I can't work in another gym anymore.
Yeah.
So 6 months, got some money together. My cousin Saj, big up my cousin Saj. They give me a nice unit. Is that you trained in the new
new
custard
one that you got
factory
now?
gym? Yeah,
Yeah.
before that.
No.
Before I moved gym like 10 times.
Yeah.
So we moved into this unit, done the unit up.
Uh-huh.
From my first gym, I told you, from that 80 grand
Yeah.
I had spent there, that was the biggest L of my life. I had literally a room full of equipment. The dumbbells that I paid 8 grand for, let's say Team ZPT on them, or 7-8 grand. I kept put them aside. I put like a squat rack. I had a handful of things. So my mate Imran, this guy, you know Imran, everybody
Imran,
knows
yeah,
him.
yeah.
Imran's, God sent Imran my way. Imran and me, I wouldn't have done it without him, because I was every day like, I can't do it, I'll just forget it. And he would drive to Wales, get equipment, bring it back, paint it. Bruv, this guy's a saviour, man. But we got that place together, and it was like a very basic. See, with PT gyms, they're all mad basic. You know our one?
Yeah.
It's like a gym.
Yeah.
So that was like the basic layout. We'd run that for a year, got back on my feet. Everybody was like, because I was off socials for a year. So everybody's getting familiar with seeing me again. And then I done the last podcast that's on internet, Vinted Minds. And that blew up, to be fair. It was one of the highest grossing videos on his page at the time. People loved it. So that made me feel very comfortable and come back into my skin, as like I kind of lost that faith in myself. And you know, because it's always what's the next best thing, who's the new guy and whatnot. But I realized that I've set my roots deep, and it's like I'm very well known. I've never bought fake followers, so I have 18k followers for the last how many years, and it don't really bother me. I don't follow anybody on social media. I'm not on social media. I promote my business on it, but wherever I go on holidays, go up north, go down south, Salam, cause I use ZAFF PT, that come back
That
after that
recognition.
podcast,
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not going to lie, I was kind of gassed. And we built that gym up and got enough money to move into the one we're in now.
Yeah.
And inshallah, we stay in the one we're in now.
Inshallah.
I've spent a lot of money in this one as
I
well.
mean, looks sick.
But you need to, innit? If it's busy at home. Faris is trained in that gym. We got him from, we'll pop up his transformation that he only lasted 6 weeks, guys. Flopped after that. He went to Umrah, to be fair, so credit where it's due. But he put a good stone on, innit?
I put a good stone on his
Of
ZAFF.
pure
He
muscle.
was looking good, you know, from where he started to where you got him to.
Alhamdulillah, but
Alhamdulillah.
that's the journey of the gyms, from basically from the first gym, from PTing, and then how it all progressed to where we are now.
Yeah.
But over the years, I've had some offers, come to Dubai, come here, come there, and you know, people put so much and invest so much into their own business or their own business idea, and then after 2-3 years they just hop into the next idea, and then 2-3 and the next idea, and then 10 years later they're saying, bro, you're killing it. And it's like, this guy stayed in the same job for 10 years. So that's what Aleem's dad stuck in my head. Yeah. So I weren't gonna move career, and I've stayed, and it's paid off, alhamdulillah.
It has. I mean, even like, for example, now when I first came to you, okay, I was in a shit situation. Obviously, what happened with obviously my past experience and everything. I didn't know how to
mentally,
train.
mentally,
you know,
most of the kids that
Yeah, yeah.
train with me, I swear by God,
Uh-huh.
it's not a physical transformation. I've had a few, not one, a few kids telling me, when I say kids, most of these are younger than me, but they're on the verge of suicide. I've had loads of grown men come to me and saying, bro, our missus are sick of us, they're telling us to cut off. I've had grown men that you wouldn't realize, I've had a few, I don't know how to use these words, but I've had a few, how do you say black people? Black people,
yeah.
Black people, Caribbean, Ashley, before Ashley, Nick. I've had a few black guys come to me. Punjabi Sikh guys are attracted to incline towards my page.
Yeah.
But and we've had 1-2 white guys, but essentially it's mostly Arpane kids.
Yeah.
And it's upsetting because proper alcoholic, one of my guys was like, and you can't blame him. He's like, oh, you stopped that liquor. He's been doing it for 20 years.
Yeah.
And his missus and kids have let him get away with it, but now they're like, wow, we're sick of it. So because of my life experiences, I think if I was just a PT, it'd be dead. Yeah. But I have something to bring to each one. Like they've come to me with their own, cause this has happened, and I can tell you because I've been through it.
Yeah.
And just it's about building them back rather than listening to them and engaging and telling them and it's not. It's like you could stay in that hole for as long as you want to.
Yeah.
But it's only you who's going to get you out that hole. Ain't nobody going to help you.
Yeah. So
my thing is just giving them a plan of action. How are you going to get yourself out the hole? And they know the answer, but they've never said it. They've never thought about it. And when they start telling themselves, oh, I've got to do this. Yeah. Oh, and it's that simple. And then they come out.
I'm telling you,
you went in the deepest. You was in a little situation.
No, I was in a little situation, okay. But obviously, me and Zaff had a lot of one-to-one sessions.
Yes, yeah.
And I did open up a lot to him. I feel like that helped massively. And obviously, with his training program, it's not just training, bro. It's having a chat to, speaking about, because you need to mentally get there in order to get there physically. Do you understand?
1,000,000%. Training is all, everything in life is all mental. If you're jarred up mentally, then you're not going to be able to get what you want with anything else, with anything, to be fair. Right, can we move on from the gym stuff? I hate the gym stuff.
I want to know more about what else you do. So speaking to Faris, I don't know you that well. First time we met, but he said there's other stuff that you're currently doing.
I've been involved in loads of things. So when you say to me, what do? I would never say to you prison or hang around thugs and like my whole life.
One thing I admire about you is the stuff that you've been doing for Palestine recently.
Yeah. Thank you. I've been doing it, to be honest with you, for years. We sponsored with the followers. None of it's my money, but some of it's 1% might be my money. But with the followers, because some of my followers are really super loyal and they've been with me for like as long as I've been on social media. I was on Instagram before everybody, so like 7 years.
Okay.
And we sponsored 20 orphans in Gaza, and it's beautiful because I've got a card from each of the kids, and that was 7 years ago. Palestine's always been in my heart way before this. Last year, Syria has been a deep place for me. I've been involved in charity work, to be fair with you, but again, it's like when I told you about the Aleem situation. You could have they all had shanks and shit on there, but they was gonna. I was like, wow. I was ready to save him, like, you know. But it's all God, and it's all your faith in God. So God patterned that for me. So with the charity work, every time I've just got a call, but man, now I'm stand up. Like, for example, Bax Martin. I'm not sure if you know him. He's from up north. Does a lot of charity work. He shouted me, and he was like, "Bro, I need a team of guys to come load a container up. I heard you're the guy." I was like, "Yes, I am." Skidded up with my guys. Bab loaded this for Pakistan when the Pakistan floods happened.
Yes.
Cleaned up that container real quick, and it's about not just putting stuff on, it's stuffing it in properly, getting it. Because I've got experience with this stuff, and I've buried dead refugees that have been decomposed for like 6 months, and they weren't releasing the bodies of. Drove them ambulances from Germany to wherever we went. It's hurt sometimes talking about it. I just remembered, I got a little flashback, but you know when you see in TV, they're pulling people off, the boats coming and they're taking them off the boat.
Yes.
I've been there 6-7 years ago. Ripped me up, man. It's horrible. So I've been involved. I've been called to charity work. I've been whatever you've heard. I've been involved in it, but I've been called to it. Me, I'm just a boring guy who prays and goes to the gym and does his work. But everything else, God's blessed me with, man. He's shouted me at it, and I've always been willing to do the thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If anybody's got any containers they want filling, or they have any charity work, and you need some tough guys, please
holla ZAFF. We will put his socials down on the YouTube
sure,
video and everything. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, but I've stayed away, as in I've not got too heavily involved in one charity, because I've seen some misdemeanors and I've seen stuff I don't like. So I can't jump on with anything from even like the. Can we shout out the Shilajit, please?
Yeah, go on.
Because a lot of people message me and say to me, bro, is your Shilajit legit? Is it the stuff? And I'm like, I don't sell many things, but if I sell you something, believe you me, it's 10/10, top shelf. If I don't believe in it, I'm not promoting it. So look, let's just be real with your podcast.
Yeah.
I've honestly thought I was the first guy on the show, but they've had 9 episodes.
It's just been me and him, really.
I'm not without bragging. I could have potentially got onto any podcast I wanted to get onto. But the thing is, it's my ethics, innit? Like one of the podcasts I was telling you from them famous ones. This geezer's just hitting me with questions, and that. What you know what I mean? What's that? So when you told me come do the podcast, it's nothing to do with anything else but the fact that I know when you're sitting there's no agendas, you ain't got sponsors, you ain't trying to fit in with these fakes and whatever else. So whatever chat we have is genuine. That's what I want to do. That's why I love the first 2 podcasts, because they were genuine. Me talking and the questions is just a free flow chat. Do you get? That's what you said before we started.
That's it.
This free flow chat. So. I always get sidetracked. No, the Shilajit. No, why did I come on this podcast? Is because it's something I believe in, innit? With the charities, I don't want to badman charities because we have to give money somewhere.
We have to.
You know what I mean? I'm not championing anybody. I'm not saying go with this specific charity. Do your own researches. I just like to get involved wherever I can. I do fun. I've done a lot of fundraising personally myself. We built a masjid in my village in Pakistan.
Yeah, you were saying.
If I'm ever asking people for money or for donations, I have to go through with it. I have to go myself and show them where their money is being spent. And even try 6 months later, show them again. As where people are asking for money. And you're giving it and you're not seeing anything else after or later. I'm going to send you a small little video, because you asked about them ambulances. They got into Gaza, alhamdulillah. I don't know if they're still intact or the situation with them, but I drove from Germany. There was like, I think there were 20 vehicles altogether. There was a fire truck and stuff as well, but with whatever, it got to Turkey, Istanbul, and that's when I come back. Just before then I left.
Okay.
Because I swear by Allah, I got the call 12 o'clock in the morning. So imagine we're just normal day, 12 o'clock. Yo, these are the charity guys I've done deployments with before. Rogue guys, they don't work for charities, rogue people. ZAFF, we're going Germany, we're getting ambulances, we're driving them to Palestine. Do you want to come? I was like, hell yeah. We'll be outside your house in 2 hours. Because they're from Manchester, Oldham sides. 2 hours, I was ready with my passport, let's rock and roll. This is, I think, why people shout me with the opportunities. Because like my friends and that, bro, we want to come Palestine, we want to go there. And I've put them through to my mates and then they flopped. And like, you're letting me down, bro. Like, when you get the call like that, it doesn't matter. I don't care about my wife, kids, mom, work, nothing, gone. So that was like, I think couple of days, man. That was a couple of days, and because my wife's gangster, she just had my bag packed. Because I've been away for like a couple of days now, I gotta come back, and it's only because Turkey, we knew that this place is gonna be long. They're gonna take a few weeks. So from Turkey, from the top right, Istanbul side, they came to the bottom of Turkey, and then from there they got shipped to Egypt. And then from Egypt they were there for a long time, so I just kind of kicked back. But for anybody who donate, because my friends and followers donated towards 3 ambulances, like 60 quid, not 13, just under 60 grand. So if anybody's wondering where the ambulances, did they get to the location? They did, and I'll send them the video to put up now.
Yeah, we'll pop that up. So, what's it like in Palestine? You have been Palestine, haven't you? Before?
I've been to Palestine, but not to. I've been to Hebron and the West Bank, but not to Gaza.
Not to Gaza. Yeah.
Before the war, if just say me and you, we go Palestine, Masjid al-Aqsa, and then we try to go there, they'll stamp it. You got to go to checkpoints and stuff. So they won't stop you going through, but now you'll be marked. So the next time you come in, you won't be allowed to go. And I made the mistake of not going because I wanted to come back. This is my favorite. Masjid al-Aqsa is my favorite place in the whole world. And I wanted to go back, and just that selfish behaviour I got to miss. I never got to witness Gaza for its beauty. But Allah's the best of planners, and I'd really, really, really have every intention of even moving there and staying there, at least for the 6 months, year minimum, to help them rebuild and whatnot. So pray that all goes to plan for me.
With the ceasefire and everything, pray for them. And
the ceasefire is all nonsense, it's just gibberish, but we don't know. And we don't know. God's the greatest of planners, and He knows. So if there's an opportunity, inshallah, I'll be there.
Inshallah.
But where did that question start? Where did that originate from?
I can't remember.
The Palestine one.
I think
because when we used to be in the gym, you used to talk about Palestine quite. Like you asked me once, you said, "Have you ever been Palestine?" I said, "No." He goes, "You have to go."
Do you know what it is? You know, when we was kids, we was like, through social media or through the news or through our parents and whatnot, there's this brainwashing ideology that you can't go. You can go Umrah, you can go Morocco and everywhere, but you can't go Palestine. They'll shoot you and they'll kidnap you and they do this to people. But that's just so much nonsense, because when I went there, there's thousands of Christians from around the world coming to visit. There's thousands of Muslims coming to visit. Palestine, you get off, you can either go to Jordan or Tel Aviv. There's no issue. It's like any other country you've been on holiday before, and you go to the masjid, and there's, obviously, I'm not going to lie, it's upsetting. You see army guards by the entrances of the masjid, but nobody is bothering you because you got a British passport. Nobody's bothering you. Nobody's giving you harm. So the first time I went, I was just gobsmacked. And when I'm telling my brothers and my friends and people to go, they're like, "Palestine, are you sure, cuz?" And I'm like, "Definitely sure." My older brother went, my mate Farisat went, a few people gone, hopefully you go. Whoever I've tried to tell is only to tell you that that's your home. And you need to go home and visit your house.
100%.
But they've just
it's something on the bucket list, because I've been Umrah now. Umrah was amazing, and Palestine's the next one, inshallah.
Flights are open, by the way, and they have been since the start of the year. People are just shook. Don't be shook.
No, probably might go in Ramadan, me and my cousin. So we'll see.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. You wanna come?
I'm down if somebody's paying. I'm joking. I do plan. I'm planning on going Hajj this year. Inshallah. I didn't want to say it on the cameras. I have to do stuff and then announce it outside.
Inshallah.
I'm planning on doing that. So please, disclaimer, I'm a personal trainer. I've never done bodybuilding, and I never want to bodybuild. And we'll move on from this, but I just quickly want to say to all the young Muslim men out there who train and stuff, our physiques, and our strength is so we're ready. Like, it's firstly an amana to keep fit and healthy. Secondly, just say how in Palestine the war kicked off randomly. It kicks off here randomly. Are you actually ready to protect your family? Do you even know how to throw a bang? That should be your intention when you're training. I'm not dissing. Look, a lot of my friends are going to be watching this, and they're bodybuilders, and they're in the gym game, and they're, "Why is he shitting on us?" I'm not shitting on you. I'm just saying, bodybuilding is a dead game. I had a boxing fight. I rate boxing. I rate kickboxing. I rate loads of sports. My nephew's in MMA. I rate all sports, anything. But with the bodybuilding, it's like very egotistic. There's like crazy amounts of steroids involved. And the biggest thing for me is if you're doing a physique shoot, it's fine. But the tongues on stage, remember, your kids are going to see that one day, man. Like, I got offered in my early days jump on a body, and the hype was bodybuilding then. But you ain't catching me on stage, bro, with tongues on. That's just a madness, man. And loads of guys do it. Like my friends, I'm telling you, my peers, my colleagues in the game. I'm not trying to name anybody or shit on anybody. I'm just saying, I promise you, at that point, it was sick. They looked cool. They wanted to flex their physique. It's like a tattoo. Do you know what I mean? It's sick right now, but when you get married or when you have kids, or 6 years down the line, man, are sending your kids in school them pictures or whatever. I'm overdoing it a little bit, but it's just like with the bodybuilding thing, I'd advise the young people who are watching to get into an honourable sport. There's loads of them. Bodybuilding is good to have a sick physique, man. It's good to be strong. Good powerlifting is sick, but bodybuilding, I'm just anti-bodybuilding. I'm anti-shisha lounges. And I don't have any friends. I don't follow anybody.
Why don't you have any friends?
I used to have a lot of well, fake friends or like business associates or whatever the hell you want to call them. In Birmingham, we're very well known. So let's just say the top 10 shisha lounges. My old landlord is a shisha lounge owner.
Okay.
I'm very vocal with my beliefs and my ethics, and I think like if you're going clubbing or if you're smoking weed or you want to hang around the park, then that's a conscious choice you've made.
Yeah.
But for the good lads like yourself who've listened to their parents their whole life and they do good, and it's hard for you guys because we get all the credit, the road credit, and you lot don't get shit. The girls want guys like us, you lot don't get it, and it's hard. But obviously later on in life you understand the difference. However, when you're in that phase and you're in uni, how when I say the Matrix or Shaitan or whatever you want to call it, how are they going to infiltrate you good guys? How?
By sending a woman.
By vapes, balloons, because balloons don't have the most people doing the balloons are the uni kids, are the good boys, because they can't go home smelling a cigarette or liquor or whatever else. And once you know what I mean. So the balloons, I feel like, were put in for you guys. The vapes were put in for you guys. Drugs or something that's gonna mess you up, but still you can keep a clean image. Do you get where I'm coming from? A shisha lounges, I feel like that's where it all originated from, because I'm not a shisha lounge guy. That's for nerds in my eyes. Like, I could never sit in a shisha lounge sucking on a pipe. I worked as a security guard on the door, but sitting there, like, just not my cup of tea. Do you know what I mean? So, like,
should I tell you who used to live in shisha lounges?
We don't want to name anybody. No, it's okay though.
But
look, that's good you said that, because see how they sucked him in. They never sucked him on the weed. They never sucked him in on the alcohol. They never sucked him on the clubbing. Shisha lounges like, oh, so we're just gonna go for a bit of food, bit of shisha. And it seems legit. However, you know what you do. You know, the shisha lounge owners do have a massive responsibility, and I'm not trying to back them, but because there's so many of them, and it's just become a thing that is, it's okay. Is that all the good girls, all the good kids are mixing and socializing in the shisha lounge. But not all of them. A lot of bad people go there as well, and a lot of people, like all the F boys, where they going? They're going shisha lounges. So the few sisters that think, we're just gonna go get shisha and go out. But now this guy's gassing you up. He's giving you confidence. You dropped your number to him. Talking all night, bam, and you fall into the traps that us road people. But we knew it was wrong, and we were outcast. I'm still outcast for it all these years later. So to get, I don't know, they infiltrated us hard. So I'm against shisha lounges, and I've been vocal on it. And a few of my friends that own shisha lounges, well, I say friends, but whatever you want to call them, do not like me anymore. They're not fans of me. HMOs. HMOs, nobody in our community, I've not heard anybody ever speak out, even the imams, against HMOs. Now, I'm going to tell you something. When our grandparents came to this country, they were bullied, they were terrorized, like stoned, rushed, like you don't understand how they were beat down. So when they built these communities that we take for granted, like Spark Hill, like Smalley, like Alam Rock, they were so tight-knit, and they had a masjid on the corner, and we had our own shops, and we had it on lock. Like, non-Muslims or non-Asians, like the whites and blacks, used to say, you guys, and it was a proper thing when I was growing up, like, you guys are killing it, you all invest into your sides, and you keep in the community with us. Our problem is we don't have that unity, and they could never infiltrate our communities all the way up to now, over greed, over like, I can rent my house for $750, but I'll get a grand for it on a HMO. They've let crack. I got nothing against. I love poor people and crack and drug abusers and whatnot, because they're human like us. But like my mums and my sisters and our aunties are safe, and they've been safe all this time because of our elders and because of what we've put down. And the government could not crack down. Nobody could infiltrate our communities. However, HMOs, little bit of money, little bit of paycheck, and we've let in the scum of society next door to my mum's house, next door to the imam's house. The mosque on Fulham Road got robbed by some crackheads. Like we've basically, I feel like HMOs HMO owners, or if you're involved in the HMO game, and like, look, my brother, my friends, Omar, like, there's a lot of people I got a lot of love for, are involved in the HMO game, and my chat to them directly is just like, bro, it's interesting, you mortgage the house, or it's all haram money, but some of them have got legit HMO companies, halal money, and the duty of care is there. They're going in, they're checking on the people, they're making sure everything is there, but 80% of them,
I would say more 90%.
90% of them
Yes.
are just getting the money from the government.
Yes.
They're not checking in upon the tenants.
Yeah.
And they're doing, oh God, they're just exploiting.
Because I'll be honest
they're
with you.
exploiting them, and they're exploiting our communities. And what
Yeah.
they've done is just within a year or two, destroy their communities. This is why I had to move my daughters out, essentially.
I don't blame you.
That's great. I've never thought about that, you know.
Because
crazy,
it shouldn't
you know.
be me saying this.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
should be our imams should be gunning people
But you don't
down.
hear this,
You
right?
wanted to kill all of my upbringing was, and I'm not condoning drug dealing, but it was against drug dealers and and that was our mentality.
focus, yeah.
But the guy on the first two ZAFF, he's got a fag shop and he's got a liquor shop.
Yeah.
He's got a restaurant, and it's that double standards. And
Yeah.
now what I love about our generation growing up, we've got these platforms. We can all speak openly.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't fear nobody. Like when I put the shisha line thing, man, my man, no, my. I don't give a shit, blood.
Yeah.
Some gangster people, like millionaires, own the HMO companies. I fear God, only God. So I'm a small voice saying this on a small platform.
Yeah.
Really, should it be just us mentioning it right now?
No, there should be more people.
You tell me your experiences with HMO people as a paramedic.
So obviously,
Just so they know understand.
So obviously, like, we've been in the road, 5 years now?
Yeah.
Coming to about 5 years here. I've not been to one single HMO, okay, that's clean,
Yep.
okay, where they have their social workers come and check on them. Nothing at all. I've been to HMOs where I've gone in and there's like 4 or 5 people that overdosed and they're like proper
Yeah,
out
yeah.
of it.
You go there for one patient,
Yeah.
and honestly, we
Yeah.
could pick up about 4.
You pick up
because
about 4.
of the
I've been to
situation it is.
HMOs, okay, where there's been a patient that's basically tried to commit suicide. He slit his wrist, gone deep down. He's lying on the top of the stairs. Okay, the landlords found him a day later. Alhamdulillah, la hawla wa la quwwata, I did not know how he was alive. He was still alive when we got there, and there was blood everywhere, and that was an attempt of suicide.
This is the settings there are horrible.
Like I've not been to one where I thought, you know what, that's actually a raw decent HMO. You know,
no, they're
There
not
hasn't been-
clean. There's like
there
you go
hasn't been-
there, you go in the room. Honestly, yeah, there's nothing in there. There's a mattress in the corner. And that's
my
it.
question to you is that then, because the guys that are doing it, or the guys who have got the houses, they'll be like, bro, we get more rent, bro.
Just more rent, money.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that money halal? Is there any blessings in that money? Is there barakah from God? Is that honest money? Do you know? So run the drug dealer down, run him down. He deserves to be run down. But do these guys not deserve to be run down as well? Called out, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
So what I hate more than anything is, I told you, doesn't matter what I do in life, I will always be tarnished with that brush from my childhood or my youth and whatnot, and the way I look and talk and act. But what I'm saying is, the worst people in our society are the politicians, are the people above who give you this image of, yeah, we're the good guys, and we're clean. And the HMO guys fall into that category. None of them are roadmen, none of them are drug dealers. They're all smart guys, but I don't know. Let's move on. Let's just move on to the next subject. Because that's just, you know what, I was going to lose my temper.
Nah,
So I'm
don't
going to
lose
keep you all controlled.
So you know what? Obviously, I've known you for what, over a year now. It's over a year.
Give or take, yeah.
Give or take. Yeah. I've never asked you about your scar. Because you know what I did ask about your scar? I've always been shook over a minute. That's why.
now you got me between you, so you feel safe.
Every single podcast or interview or anywhere I go, I get asked that question. And no, I haven't shied away from the question. It's just, it's not a glamorous story or anything I'm proud to tell. But I was 17 years old on my 17th birthday, and I shouldn't have been going clubbing, firstly because it's haram, and secondly because I'm not of the age. But we got into this Zulu racist club, and I knew the doorman says a go around. He was like, bro, don't go in there. Me and my mates, there was 4 of us. One's dead. Allah give him Jannah. He got murdered in prison. So when I'm saying this stuff to you, why I'm against so much stuff is because of my life experience. My mate died in a HMO, my close brethren, who I had nice in jail when I was on the first sentence. I had 5-6 kids nice on my first sentence. Like, they're my friends from local, on my wing with me. One, la hawla wa la quwwata, committed suicide. One overdosed. One was found in a HMO, and I don't want to get into that. One, that's my best friend. This is mainly probably why I do all the charity work. I did start it all because of his name.
Yeah.
I couldn't eat or talk or communicate for 6 months. His name was Adnan Rafiq, so my boxing fight had scheme on my shorts. That's for him. That's his road name. What was the question? I guess I tracked it quick. The scar. So yeah, I was with him and 2 other guys, good guys. I still see him around now. We went to this club. The guy told us not to go inside, but we didn't want to listen. And it was just, I'd never seen a black guy, Asian guy, nothing. It was just pure white guys. Got into a little kerfuffle, and I just felt like it went a bang, it went a full punch. It was just like a brush off my face.
Yeah.
As I've turned around, like from here to above my ear, it was from there. It's just popped open.
Okay.
And if anybody don't know about that in real life, the blood just crashes out your face. Now, I know the first question everybody's going to have on is, did you get the guy? He got a couple of bangs that day and we caught him later and dealt with that later. But yeah, we did catch up to him. But there and then, I literally had to hold my face together, blood all everywhere.
What hospital did you go to?
Let me tell you this story.
That's right.
Because you asked about this guy. So it's a cool story.
Okay.
Because you expect nice treatment and ambulances and the rest of it. It was horrible. I've come outside the club. My brother had landed with all his mates. They kicking off, going mental. I was young and I was 17, so you kind of get that drift. Loads of the local people were going. It could have killed me essentially, if it was a little bit lower. But went to the ambulance. Guy in the ambulance went to the hospital. Sat in the waiting room for like 2-3 hours, literally holding QE. I'm holding my face in QE for 2-3 hours. Some Indian guy has called me into. I should cut that bit off.
That's fine.
Keep that in, by the way.
Yeah, so I'm in the holding room, holding my face for like 2-3 hours, and then I got called in for the surgery. I felt like I was in a third world country. I've just followed this guy into this room, lied back. He had some lights on. He numbed half of it, didn't numb half. The needle was this big. So I'm seeing this needle go through my face. Some I could feel it going through, some I couldn't. 23 or something stitches. It was quite a few stitches. I'd be lying if I told you I know the number, but it was a lot of stitches. And he's done the operation, and as I'm walking back towards the reception and then out the hospital, I fainted because I had lost so much blood. And then the lady, God bless her, some mixed race old lady, she'd come running over to me and she's like, oh my God, has nobody checked you in? Nobody give you no water, no nothing? What the hell? And I was like, I was thinking that myself. I thought I was in here for a second.
Didn't even check his blood pressure.
She wouldn't let me go then, because of the duty of care, because I'm 17 years old. And she was like, I was like, well, my dad's outside. My dad's waiting for me. That's why I was rushing. And I never fainted. I fell. She gave me a cup of tea. I got back to my senses. I never had. My dad weren't outside. And this was the hardest bit now. Getting, I don't know, I think I got a taxi or something. I got to my door and literally, it's like Fajr time now. It's like 7-8 o'clock. This happened at 2 in the morning, 1-2 in the morning. Yeah. I've busted, and my face was, literally my face was swollen. And I had a big patch over it and shit. And I've opened the door. And directly in front of me is my mum in the kitchen. And she sees my face. Gosh. That's a scar story. Because you've been bugging me. You guys have been bugging me for so long. There's a scar story.
Your mum must have battered you up. Did she not? She must have thought.
She was wounded, man. Yeah. I look, when I say I've been tarnished by a brush, and I'm still am, it's because I did a lot of naughty things when I was young. A lot. Like, I got arrested when I was 14 years old. Or 13. Well, I'm saying 14, but I was in year 8. Year 7, year 8. Year 7 or year 8?
13, yeah.
My mate, he goes, I want to buy... He's from Hall Green. I want to buy a moped from Sparkbrook. I was like, okay, let's go. It's stolen, obviously. He paid £150 for it. He didn't know how to ride it, so that's why he took me with him. There's only one helmet. So we've jumped on the bike and he's like, bro, I'm riding it. He's like, no, I want the helmet. So we've got literally round the corner from Hall Green. Police have pulled us over and we're hiding our ties. Like, I've got my hoodie up. As soon as we've jumped off, his PNC, the number plates, come back as stolen. And that was the first time I got arrested. So you can kind of put up the rest. Like, I got locked up when I was 19. Then 5 years. Got up to no good. Got up to quite a bit. I've never sold drugs. I've tried to sell drugs. It never worked for me. More just robberies, loads of robberies, armed robberies. Yeah.
So where was the turning point for yourself in your life? Whereabout was it?
It was, look, when I'd done that bird, and I'd come out after like just under 2.5 years. I'd never made any new friends in it. So when I've come on road, the 2 friends that are my tight boys right now come to see me at the top of my road, and there's like, jump on with us if you want. I was like, nah, I'm not trying to make no haram money. And then I told you it was a struggle. Remember I told you I was going job centre and getting dead jobs and whatnot. I opened a bar. I worked as a barber for a bit, and then I opened a barber shop with the next man. But I didn't really stick to anything. And my brethren died, man. My brethren died 3 months after I got out of prison. I swear to God. When I found out, I was just screaming like the movies for the longest. And that just like, you know what hurt me more than anything? It's just reality in it. But loads of people, the janazah was one of the biggest janazahs at Gungol Sharif. His dad and like loads of people come to the janazah and whatnot. But then after that, it's like, I was wounded because nobody went trying to put no work in for him. We know we put work in for him. Like he'll get blessings for it. Plus he's shaheed because he got murdered.
Yeah, of course.
He was only a short lad, and there was 3 lifers that rushed him. So I'd go to his grave, and every like week or 2 weeks, and I'd give charity for him. And I think just like knowing that God, you know, if I just know that just being that, just knowing the reality of what life obviously is, kind of just like put me on my own track. I took a few L's. I took a fair few L's that time. From then, even you could class the second prison sentence as a L, you know what I mean? But there were blessings, man. Big blessings from God, because it built my character to
made you who you are today, though, didn't it?
Thank you.
Yeah.
You live and you learn, and you learn from these experiences. It shapes you.
It breaks a lot of people, and people crumble, and you know what it is? It's hard to tell somebody who's going through like a drug addiction or a divorce or this or that, or whatever it might be, like, chin up, my son, mental health, or, you know, there's so many things. But brother got so many people now, like, I go to Janazah near enough all the time, and my man's brother's been murdered. And he's just sitting at the matam, and nobody knows what the right things to say to him. I always go over and give him a big tight hug and whisper in the ear, listen, now is not the time for you to grieve or anything else. Now you need to make sure the ghusl is done, his rights are fulfilled, everything's in order, your mum and dad are screwing, boom, bam, bing. My mate Bully passed away. He's one of our olders from our side. So, sweetheart of a guy, man. Sweetheart of a guy. His brother, I seen him when I was in Bolton, remember? So I was hiding from everybody, like anxiety, and I don't want to see anybody. But I came to the mosque for his matam, and well, he's got a few brothers, but I grabbed one of his brothers that was there, and I could see, obviously, visibly, he's mad upset. But I was like, no, you gotta compose yourself and get yourself together. And once the body's buried and the janazah is done, that's when everybody's gonna disappear. Nobody's gonna care, and that's when you can come to terms and grieve and whatever else not. So, like, that's just a little comparison because I've been through it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it don't make it easier for people. I don't know. This is the stuff I wanted you to talk about. So when, you know, a lot of people watching can relate to whatever it is, but they can relate to some of it. Rather than just sitting here and bragging and telling you how I got so rich and how I'm famous. And I'm not to be fair, how to get Instagram followers and the rest of the facade. I'm not really.
Obviously, you're quite big on social media now. Obviously, with your TikTok, I would say you're quite. You've got a strong following.
Very late on TikTok. I hated TikTok. I would never have done TikTok.
Yeah.
Swear by God, you know, I call him T. Roch, but you know, Panacea Motors.
Yeah.
Little Shasa, big him up again. Bruv, he was telling me for the longest, he'd phone, bro, you'll kill TikTok, get on TikTok, you'll kill TikTok. No, nah. And then essentially, at the end, I kind of give in. I made it about a year ago, I'd say. I've only been on it for a year. Check my oldest post. I ain't been on it for too long.
But you got a good following, though.
You're doing well on that.
You smashed it.
Alhamdulillah, I'm a genuine guy, and I just put genuine stuff out. I don't follow anybody. If you go on any of my social media accounts, I don't follow anybody. I'm not trying to get involved in all of that shit. Like, I see, I thought about this before I come on. This is the only thing I wanted to actually address. You know, like, I don't want to say any names, but if I don't say names, they won't understand what I'm on about.
Drop them,
I
man.
don't want to drop them, bro.
Just drop them, man.
Like, like this Dobie Khan.
Yeah.
Do you know who that is?
Dobie Khan.
This Rocky Roulette, like, I'm not trying to shoot at anybody. Remember, like, I told you, I got love for any human being in it, because we all sin and do our bad stuff. But what hurts me is if we're doing our stuff in private, it's calm.
Yeah.
It's not calm, but it's passable. You get me? We're humans, and God's the most forgiving. But you know, when we're putting our stuff on social media and in public, then, and they say, don't judge me, who are you to, but you're putting it on social media, and they're swearing at each other's moms, and the swears, it hurts me, man. I was watching some guy from Alam Rak, I think Ifti or something, and he's talking to this Rocky Roulette, because they put the screen recordings later on TikTok.
Yeah, they do,
Like that Nawaz Khan TV, not Nawaz Khan, he's funny. So some of them are funny, don't get me wrong, but some of them on level, like, you know, he went to Pakistan, what's his name, and he had the Muchan from Malam, that bowl guy, the police arrested him.
Yes. What's his name, man?
Bruv, like, I don't know how people are following them, giving them loads of money and tokens and all of that, when look what they're putting out. But at the end of the day, people love that, and people love a bit of tamasha, a little bit of this. But you know what it is? These people don't realize that tomorrow you're killing off your whole family. For example, we're not naming, but just put one in for the boat for now. Just cussing my man's mom and swearing at people, and I don't even want to say the swears, bruv. You know, I thought I knew bad swears, but
you know which one's funny?
I'm PG compared to them.
Small Cascon.
Vachara. You know what it is with them? You know what it is? That's a heat of the moment, or the gaslight, or the followers are clicking, so let's just gas into it. But, like, you know, when your kids go in school tomorrow, they're going to get violated by the other kids. Your brothers, your sisters, your mum and dad. Your dad's going to read namaz with his peers. He's been reading namaz all these years with his peers. And now they're saying, in the back of the corner, Flana Tingana, my, Flana Tingana, bro. Like, gosh, bruv, like, it's horrible, man. Social media and that aspect of social media kill our people, and this is beastie, bruv, man. Mad beastie. Like, we're just showing ourselves up horribly. There's a geezer from Alam Rak, he has his gloves on, he's made like a few of the guys. I don't want to call people, but I'm not shy, I'm not scared of anyone, and I heard he's a made guy, he's super rich, he sits on TikTok with his gloves on and, hi, you okay? And he's got random people, and he's just, I'm like, what you doing with your life? God's put us here to, like, raise your kids, read namaz, train, make money, help people. If you got money, help poor people, you know, do something constructive with your lives. But you're sitting on TikTok, what the fuck? If you're broke, if you're a nobody, I get that aspect to it. Yeah. But some of them are rich. Yeah. And I'm like, they probably love the fame. I don't want to get you. I don't want to say much more about it. See how I get annoyed that I say next question? Next question.
Man. Obviously, with your TikTok, obviously, I have noticed there's quite some negativity comments. Probably the haters.
Not on mine. They're videos of like the Minted Mind podcast, and there's clips, and they're killing me. Just people don't know me in it. So if you don't know somebody, the first thing, they all fake accounts, they're nobodies. Like, I'll give you an example. I put WhatsApp stories up. I used to get like 700-800 people watch my WhatsApp. Who's gonna be watching it? My people, my friends, or people I know. None of them message me, none of them ring me, none of them shout me, nothing. Not even sometimes I put something that says, MashaAllah, Alhamdulillah. But I'll click it and I'll flick up, and before I've put it up a minute ago, you're stalking my shit. This is the new culture. No, but this is the new culture. Yeah. People don't need to communicate. I'll check your WhatsApp and I know you're all right. You're doing this. You're doing that. Or I'll click and say, oh, he's up to that. He's up to that. That's it. They don't need to communicate with you no more. And with this, with the comments online. See, with me, when I was younger, I'd hear, like, it's the typical line, cause my man's talking shit about you. I say, yeah, well, he ain't comfortable enough to say that to me, because if he does, I'll kill him. Or it's like, so why would you not phone me when he was there talking shit? You should have phoned me there, and then I'm not, with gossip. The biggest thing with gossip is to cut it off. And next time my man comes around you and telling you this, that, the other, just don't even reply. Just keep a straight face, and you'll see them trying to gas you up and get a reaction or tell you so you can go do something for them, to just like, you deflate them. But with them, there's a few. I've seen a few videos of me, like other people have posted, and it's like, oh, look at that Mars boy in his face. He got rushed in jail. He's a pussy. He's a snitch. He's that snitch scar. I never snitched in my whole life. Like, you know, the guy that did this.
Yeah.
Police arrested him. I never pressed any. I said, nah, that's not him. I've never pressed charges or give any statements to any police. But I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing. Just me personally, I don't have that in me. This come not from jail, from before jail. I only had 2 fights in prison, and both guys are put in hospital. So now I'm not proud of that, but I'm just saying they're the facts. Do you get me? I'm coming. Get a fact check. I've done altogether just under 3 years in jail. Give me one story of when I got violated or got robbed or got terrorized. It's not out there. So this is why you'll always be a little. And somebody don't even probably know me, dropping a little dead comment. You'll never see me get ripped or get violated. Alhamdulillah, that's all God's grace. But I've had a clean run in it.
Yeah.
Respect-wise, my dad's brought me up like that. You gotta have. I could not come on camera and swear at our next man, even if I don't like him, because my parents have brought me up with some level of respect.
That's it.
But if you're on there, do you know? I don't want to get into it, but do you hear the swears, bro, from these women?
No, it's true. Yeah.
It hurts me, man. Foul.
And you know what it is? Obviously, you know TikTok's very viral and social media is very viral, and then you've got the young sisters of now looking up to them, bro. You get me? And then you think
they think it's normal.
It's normal.
Bloody moaning and all of them swears. They might chill and go to school. Bro, I live on the same road as a school, and it used to be a really good school. It's a good area. So, Mom, I'll come out to the car and the stuff I'm hearing them say to each other. I'm like, raw. It sounds like you like grew up in a slum, not right here. Do you know what I mean? And why is that? Because of, it's straight up, innit?
Tell me, what do you think of your merch, man, that we put on for you, man? You got to respect it. ZAFF PT merch.
Firstly, as an interviewer, that question was not properly composed and it wasn't clean English. However, thank you, both of you, for supporting the business and wearing my brand.
Oh, yes.
The 23...
Actually, what does the 23 stand for?
The 23 has a lot of significance. So, if you recall, the Quran was revealed to our beloved Prophet at the age of 40. For how many years?
23 years.
Yeah,
23 years. Oh.
My date of birth is?
23.
My second daughter's date of birth is?
23.
Yeah, and a few other things, but let's just leave it to that. It's my favourite number.
Oh, so this has like a unique meaning to you then, yeah?
Thank you.
Okay.
I thought it was like Michael Jordan, I'll be honest.
Saying that, apart from the... we're not going to go into it, but we're going to have a whole rebrand on the logo, because I'm not too happy with your logo.
We're looking at it.
But no, it's fine. Obviously, you live and learn, and you all. I've rebranded like 50 times, so
you have to
try.
Shall I tell you what it is? Obviously,
let me say something before I lose my point. The only thing I wanted to say is, I come on because you're genuine, guys. And it's a very small thing. The only thing I didn't like, and I'm being honest with you, is just the logo, the little flames. Apart from that, everything's lit. And Qasam, we need to wrap up now because we've been here for a little while. But I'm really glad I came. With me being totally transparent, from my point of view, anybody who's going to come on the show who's got a blue tick and has got a few following, they're like, man, I'm not going to go on a podcast. They got no following. They're just two little nerdy kids. But I swear to God, if there's anybody out there who has... whoever you are, and you have some life experience, or you would like them as a guest on the show, message these guys, because when you come down, you'll actually get your point across. You're going to go on another podcast, and they're just going to ask you the silliest questions and kind of stitch you up, set you up a little bit. So big use up on everything minus the logo. And I was just having little digs at you. The whole setup's really professional. It's better than the one I've been on one of the times. Or even two of the times. It's a nice setup. You're doing well. Don't go sideways. Don't go left with it now. You know, whenever you're getting a guest on, it could be anybody, but let them relate and send a positive message to the audience. Because, the intention you started and you're doing good. You're saying your cousin Adam Azim. Get him on, get Ibrahim Spider on. I'll message a few of them. Get guys on who have got a good message. Big up Ibrahim Spider is fighting on the weekend. He's my guy. But big up all of them. Let's just quickly give a quick credit to all the little young British Pakistanis who are coming through on the boxing scene. Big you boys up. I don't want to miss any name, but Hamza Shiraz. Quick story. Hamza Shiraz and Ibrahim Spider are well, I think Shira's a little bit, I think the same age, or he's slightly older than him. They used to, this is the only time I'm going to gas myself.
Yeah.
When I first started PT, I was managing that 24/7 gym. They used to follow me because obviously they're in college or whatever else, and I was the guy chilling with the Liam and whatnot. So they used to message me, and you'll know humility because I used to message each and everyone back. Spider came with his brother to train with me, and I was like, bro, your level of where you are and the potential you have, I don't want to train you. You need a better coach than me. That's a fact. And look where he's got to in life now.
Yeah, he's smashing it.
Hamza Shiraz, I'm so proud of him.
Yeah.
We have a very, he's the man right now, so I don't think we're going to get any entertainment. But, I get a reply of him every so often, and you know what? I'm just so proud of them. This Bengali kid from Mosul, Hamza Uddin or Raza Uddin? Hamza Uddin,
yeah.
Beast.
Look,
I didn't want to name names because we're gonna miss out so many. Be like, yo, you never said my name. But each and every one of yous, man, it's our time to take over.
Inshallah.
And they're the role models you need to be looking at, not the shisha lounge owners and guys and whatever else, TikTok stars and the rest of the idiots.
Yeah. Look out to the real people. Like ZAFF. ZAFF's one of them.
Zaff.
Yeah.
That's a good brother, man.
Drop a message to the viewers, give them a good quote, give them something that, they can look up to.
Are we wrapping it up now, yeah?
Let's wrap it up. What's one thing, if you could, for the youth watching or people watching?
To the youth watching, sisters or brothers, it's and I went through this when I was young, like when the Molvi or your dad or your uncle say, go to the mosque and go do this and you're doing this wrong, and they're just like, it's jarring, you know what I mean? My message to you is essentially, we all have blessings in our life. Like, we all know deep down we have so many blessings. How do we show gratitude for the blessings? We ain't got to give money. We ain't got to break our backs. We just got to remember God. So remember God. Then on top of that, I have this argument with my wife. Well, I used to in the first few years about the laws. I don't make the rules. I follow the rules.
Yeah.
And sometimes you might be embarrassed because you're around non-Muslims or your mates are doing it and whatnot, but understand the rules of Islam are there only for our benefit. Don't break your rules for nobody. Try to follow the rules. If you're going to break the rules, understand you're breaking a rule. Don't make it justify breaking rules and say that's okay. That's something I'm seeing a lot of. Keep yourself fit. Young men, you need to keep yourself fit and healthy. I see a lot of people getting divorced, and the sisters, I don't know why they message. Well, I don't even entertain them, but they used to message me, and I used to say, well, he had was he praying before when you met each other? And he's like, oh no, he wasn't praying, but he had a good heart, and vice versa. And I'd be like, listen to me. There's non-Muslims with good hearts. There's loads of people with good hearts, but I don't care. How good can your heart be if you're not praying to God?
Yeah.
How good can your heart really be? Do you get where I'm coming from? So when you're looking for whatever if you're looking for a spouse, look for the good things, but make yourself somebody who you'd want to marry. Do you get where I'm coming from? We want to be bad guys and marry a good girl, but become that guy before you get married, and just be a little bit wiser. Stay fit, stay healthy. I'm not just saying that because it's my job. You don't need to be big. You just need to be. People are overdoing the Uber Eats, the Just Eat. The obesity rate in our communities is a mazza right now. So I don't know. We all know the good and we all know the truth, and we get distracted, but nobody's going to come to help you. Nobody. And that's when shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
So before you get there, start setting up your foundations and stop selling yourself short for temporary pleasures and temporary gas. Could be from your friends, could be from whatever. Understand that we have 5 lives and we are on I believe the second one now. So it's when we were in Barzak. Is that Barzak before one?
No.
That's the first.
Barzak's the after one.
Yeah.
After.
Yeah. You.
Yeah.
You. I knew it was. This is why I asked you.
Yeah.
What's the first one?
So the first one is
Your first life is when all your souls were together. That's a fact. If you're a Muslim, you got to believe in this. Barzak is the second one. He's right. Who's right?
What's the uncle?
I don't know what the first one's called.
But we have 5 lives, and this is only, like, I was told this as an adult. I knew it, but I was told in this way as an adult, and I was like, rah. You have 5 stages of life, or 5 lives in themselves. And one is the soul realm that we was in before, and we all vowed that there's one God. Then there's this life, the second life. Then there's your third life in the grave. Then is Judgment Day Judgment Day is going to be a life in itself, as in how long it's going to be and what's going to take place in it. And then you get your fifth life, and that's the life. Like, I know it's cringe, and not cringe, but I know it's too cliche, that everybody uses that word, but understand that's your life. Your fifth life is your life. That's eternity. That's where you are forever.
Heaven or hell.
But don't forget you had a first life and you was a good guy there. This is your second one. You got another 2 stages too. So if you're trying to get, like people say to me the other day, I was with my friends and we went to get some food, and we've come out and my brethren's got a bad boy new RS6. So I said, bro, like, I love it, but I want to get a Ferrari one day. But I like, if I had the money, I don't think I ever would, because I told you I'm a low budget guy. I can't justify spending that much money on a car. And he's like, come on, cuz, YOLO, you only live once. Good guy, good friend of mine. And I left, and I thought about it, and I was like, you know what, you're right. Like, might as well live my life while I've got it. But then I was like, nah, you don't. It's not YOLO. No. It's not YOLO. 5 lives. Believe that. This is only the second one. So if you're going to live this life and get all your pleasures out in this life, what are you going to leave for then? What are you leaving for the last one? You know what I mean? We focus too much on hell and the punishment of the grave and all these things. But we don't remember that the heaven is made for us. Heaven, the beauties of heaven and what we're going to have in heaven, nobody talks about. They don't gas us up and explain to us what the facts of heaven are and what it's going to be. You know, there's a surah in the Quran where hell's mentioned 7 times in the same surah. You all know it. And heaven's mentioned 8 times. You know, God is putting emphasis on heaven for us. But our imams don't really talk about it too tough. I think that's where the encouragement needs to be. Study heaven. Study your fifth life, where you want to go. Find some things out about heaven, some facts about heaven. I think everyone's just too focused
on this life now, which, I mean, this life is basically a test for us. Do you understand? And it's about our journey, whether we get to heaven or hell. And obviously Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses us with tests and trials. And obviously it's from there, it's either we make it or we break it.
My leaving message would be just like, start thinking about that.
Yeah.
That future of yours, man. Because it's a reality, innit? And you need to get there. All I think about keeps me straight right now. It's just, I pray for heaven. I'm thinking about heaven, reading, like I've read Quran and I've listened to Quran my whole life, but I've never understood it. I've never read the English of it. Never seen the translations. If you go on YouTube now, there's some good pages and they show you like just saying tree, they'll show you a tree in the back with the translation, and you kind of get a better understanding.
It paints a picture for you.
Yeah, you're like, what? I need to be there, because I've had the pleasure of this life. Remember, I've traveled to over 20 countries, and I've been with rich people, and I've been rich myself, and I've seen the goods and the bads and the drugs and all, any pleasure that this world has to offer, I've kind of seen, and it's dead, bro. The novelty wears off. I'll give you a Bugatti tomorrow. You'll be gassed. Then, 3 months later, you're not gassed, but everybody else is gassed. The novelty wears off for you. So the novelty will never wear off in that fifth life, and that's what we need to strive for. And we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you very much for having me on. Thank you very much for listening and supporting the cause. If you want to follow me on social medias, it's ZAFFTHE.
We'll put it in the description as well.
If any of you are going through a tough time and whatnot, I don't want my DMs getting too flooded, but if you have got nobody else to talk to, shout me.
And flood us, we're here as well.
Or come down to see me. Don't DM me, come down to see me at the gym. And I'll give you genuine face-to-face advice.
Gym.
That is right next door to Custard Factory. So if you're on the High Street, Birmingham High Street, next to Custard Factory, you'll see me there. I don't want to put anybody off messaging me. If you're from out the manor, you're from out of town, message me. But there's only 12 hours in a day. Well, 24. I don't get any work. It's sleep, praying, the kids and work. I don't get much. But like I said, I'm here for you. And I hope you're there for somebody else.
Inshallah.
We're done. Can I go home now?
You can go home.
Gosh.
So as always, we out.
Love.
That's our outro.
Shebang!